A very good morning, my dear students. Let's finish the concept called collisions in this class. The next class, we are going to start a new chapter. Let's continue. Coefficient of restitution is our topic now. So my dear students, already we have discussed about coefficient of restitution in the earlier classes. And this is the ground. Imagine there is a body of mass m1 moving with the speed u1, and there is a body of mass m2 moving with the speed u2. After the collision, what is happening here? After the collision, the first mass is moving with a velocity v1 and the second mass is moving with a velocity v2 here. What we had already discussed is u1 must be greater than u2, illi v2 must be greater than v1. And I am just writing the relative speed here. As u1 is greater than u2, I am writing u1 minus u2, so that is called the relative speed. And here, as v2 is greater than v1, I can write v2 minus v1 as the relative speed. Why I am talking about the relative speeds? Imagine if this kind of collision is elastic, my dear students. Imagine if this kind of collision is elastic. What we have discussed in the previous classes is, so u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1, right? So that means v2 minus v1 divided by u1 minus u2 is equal to 1 anta meaning. So what is this one? So elastic collision alli, what is the coefficient of restitution? That is 1. Elastic collision alli one type ide. So that's called perfectly elastic type collision. So this 1 I can equate it to E because idu 1 andre, so that is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic collision alli, what is the quantity becomes 1. So that's a coefficient of restitution, my dear students. So we have got an expression for coefficient of restitution v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2, and see the numerator. I am just writing the expression. Expression is this one, and the explanation of that expression I am writing here. So this is the relative velocity of separation, my dear students. Relative velocity of separation to relative velocity of approach antare. So you look at the difference between these two, numerator and denominator. So relative velocity of the separation after the collision, both the bodies are separated. To avoid the further collision, I have already discussed. So that's the reason v2 minus v1 now bardidivili. And before the collision, what is happening here? Before the collision, relative velocity of approach nodkobekili, because collision aglebeku. To study the collision is must. So that is what happened. Coefficient of restitution ge nimge one formula siktiga. Ee formula base madkondu yav tara questions keltare and what kind of applications can be learned towards your NEET and JEE exams, and let's discuss right now. Here, look at the situation. Number one, and before moving to that, you know already, idu 0 adre, I can say it is a perfectly inelastic collision anta meaning. Perfectly inelastic collision anta meaning. If this value lying between 0 and 1, right? So that I can say it is a semi-inelastic collision. Semi-inelastic collision. Alright. And look at the important case here. ಈ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so this is the ground, my dear students. It's a ground. From here, there is a ball which is dropped here. This is the ball which is dropped. Dropped from where? Dropped from a height h naught. Dropped from a height h naught. So, this h naught, initial height. After that, the ball will definitely rebound to some height, dane. So that is called h1. What is this h1? Rebouncing height. I am writing the same. So illi h1 andre rebouncing height. Matte that h1 is initial height from where we have dropped the ball. Illi coefficient of restitution ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ square root h1 by h0 ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಬಹುದು. And at the same time, this coefficient of restitution is equal to t1 by t0 ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯಬಹುದು. And this coefficient of restitution is equal to v1 by v0 ಅಂತಾನೂ ಬರೆಯಬಹುದು. What is that t1 and t0? And I hope you have got the clarity between h1 and h0. What is h1 here? h1 ಏನಂದ್ರೆ rebouncing height ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. What is the rebouncing height? That may be 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. h0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ initial height from which the body is dropped. And ಇಲ್ಲಿ t1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ time taken by the ball for the rebouncing height. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ how much time the body is taken, that's t1. And time taken by the ball to reach the ground, that's t0, my dear students. And v1, with what velocity the body is rebouncing? So v1 is equal to a rebouncing velocity. What is that? A rebouncing velocity. Right? And v0 andre with what velocity the body is striking the ground. So a velocity of striking. Velocity of striking. Notice. So, ಈ ತರ coefficient of restitution ಗೆ ಕೆಲವು formulas ಇರ್ತವೆ. Right? And more than, this is also important, and more than important of this, so there are several cases are involved in the concept of coefficient of restitution, and that concepts we will discuss right now. Let's continue the coefficient of restitution. And ಈ case ನೋಡೋಣ. So ಏನು ಈ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, this is the ground. Careful ಆಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. From this height, ಏನು height ಅಂದ್ರೆ h0. From this height there is a body which is dropped here. ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು body, it's dropped here. h0 is this height. Right? And here the body will rebound. The rebounding part I am just showing to the right side of this path. Illinda, the body will rebound like this. That is what I am just showing here. So this is what h1. First rebounding height. Careful agi observe madri. Again it comes back in the same path and rebounces once again, and this is the rebouncing height ನಾನು ಏನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ h2. And after reaching to the maximum height it comes back once again. So now here the third rebouncing height also I am considered, my dear students. This is h3, and it comes back in the same path, and fourth rebouncing height also is taken. Itara, it goes on. Right? So the question is, what is nth rebouncing height? Nth rebouncing height. That's a question. Nth rebounding height, that may be first rebounding height is how much, second rebounding height, third rebounding height, ಆ ತರ questions ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Right? Okay. So h suffix n is equal to e to the power 2n into h naught. So there is a derivation for this, but it is not required for us. H suffix n is equal to e to the power 2n into h naught, and this was the question asked in the previous NEET exams. And the same kind of relation we'll do it for the velocity also. That was also asked for the previous years. hn is equal to e to the power 2n into h naught. h naught andre namge gottu. So illi I am writing h naught andre initial height ellinda neevu drop ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ, that's height. And this hn is a rebouncing height. hn is a rebouncing height. ನೋಡಿ the formula ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, the formula. Now, that there is some total distance traveled by the body that you should understand before the body comes to rest, right? So before the body comes to rest, so there is a total distance traveled by the body, my dear students. Total distance traveled by the body, d, which is equal to, carefully note, d is equal to h naught into 1 plus e square by 1 minus e square is the total distance traveled before it comes to rest. Note, here comes the point. What is the total distance traveled? Is h naught plus h1, and it comes back once again in the same path I told, plus h1, h2, it comes back same path, plus h2, right? Again h3 plus h3 plus h4 plus h4, it goes on like that. That's called the total distance traveled by the body before it comes to rest. In the same way, so there is a total time taken by the body also before it comes to the rest. So that is square root 2h by g into 1 plus e by 1 minus e. Note, this is also important, my dear students. These two formulas are important. According to the previous years, there was a question based on this height and velocity, but not this. But if you are lucky enough, you may get these questions also. Direct substitution. They'll give h naught values and e, coefficient of restitution values, and you can find the total distance traveled by that body before it comes to rest. And here also, total time taken by that body before it comes to rest. Alright? And let's talk about the velocities also, my dear children. Let us talk about the velocities. Ready? Velocities. And another diagram we'll draw so that it will be easy for you. Let's talk about the velocities. This is the ground. Note, a body is dropped from here, from a height same h naught, and now we are not talking about the heights. So this is v naught. So what is this v naught? A v naught is called as a striking velocity, my dear students. Striking velocity, andre with what velocity the body is striking the ground. So that's called a v naught. Iga observe ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This will rebounce with some velocity, and that is the rebouncing velocity is called v1. Observe ಮಾಡಿ. So a v1 is equal to a first rebounding velocity. Nodri, first rebounding velocity. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಬೌನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಬೌನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, and here some velocity will become zero, right? And again it comes back with the same velocity v1 andre towards upwards. With v1 speed it comes towards downwards also. With the v1 speed it comes back. Now illi so there is a another rebouncing velocity v2 irutte. It goes up with the same v2 and goes to the maximum height where the final velocity becomes 0, so and comes back with the same v2 speed. Now third rebouncing velocity also it comes like this. This is the third rebouncing velocity and this is the fourth rebouncing velocity. ಈ ತರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, right? And nth rebouncing height ತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ nth rebouncing velocity ಏನು ಅಂತ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. nth rebounding velocity formula ಏನಂದ್ರೆ Vn is equal to e to the power n into v naught. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, Vn is equal to e to the power n into v naught. So this n, which rebounding velocity are we are talking? Which rebounding height we are talking? This n. If we are talking about the second rebounding height, n is 2. If we are talking about the fourth rebounding velocity, this n is 4. ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. All right? Clear? Now, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. For example, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಒಂದು 0.6 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. 0.6, it won't have any units because the numerator and denominator what we have got, so v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. So this is change in velocity, this is change in velocity. The units are same. So both will cancel, the numerator and denominator. It doesn't have any particular unit. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ e is 0.6 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, right? And h naught is given as 36 centimeters. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. And find h1. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ the formula is. ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ you can easily solve this problem. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, this is the problem. A numerical is given here. Given coefficient of restitution is 0.6 and from 36 centimeters height there is a body is a drop, right? And the question is find h1. What is that h1? First rebounding height. What is the first rebounding height formula? Nth rebounding height formula enamma? Hn is equal to e to the power 2n into h naught. Hn andre 1, which is equal to e square into h naught andre 36 centimeters, that is 36 by 100. And I can write e square 0.6 whole square into 36 by 100. So find everyone what is h1 and find out and answer me now through WhatsApp right now. Just pause the video right now, answer me through WhatsApp, right? So now this is the concept about coefficient of restitution, where there is a potential of asking a question in the NEET exam. Okay, now we'll continue the concepts of collisions. Till now, my dear students, till now we have discussed about one-dimensional collision. Now, two-dimensional collisions also we will see, because as there is an importance for the JEE exams, majority of the cases collisions ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ for CET exam as well as in the NEET exam. Sometimes in JEE exams the question will come from two-dimensional collisions. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ we should not leave that. Let's learn about elastic collisions in two dimension. Elastic collision what? In two dimension. Let's discuss now. Please. Elastic collisions, two dimensions. Elastic collision, two dimensions, right? The only thing in your syllabus is elastic collision in two dimension, right? So ground. So what is happening here in the plane, right? What is happening here? So just to make you understand, and before that we'll just remove this part. so that you'll understand it 100%. So there is a body of mass m1 moving with a velocity u1 ether. So there is a body of mass m2 which is at rest. I've already told you, most of the questions you get from collisions where the second body they'll keep at rest, because half of the difficulty problem will be solved. Half of the difficulty level is reduced when the second body is at rest. Okay. Now, actually this is the line of motion. In one-dimensional collision, what happened? Before the collision and after the collision, line of motion was same. Igangala. Now, this is the body of mass m1 moving like this with a velocity v1. And this is the body of mass m2 moving with a velocity v2. Carefully observe Marvik. And this m1 v1 is the linear momentum vector after the collision. And this linear momentum vector is making an angle theta 1, and this linear momentum vector making an angle theta 2 with the x-axis. With the x-axis. Yake, idu one axis and idu one y-axis anta neevu tagobodu. Alright. And this m1 v1 is not acting along x-axis or not acting along y-axis, yes or no. So that means I can resolve this component. I can resolve this vector into two different components, right? Two rectangular components. And number one. So let me write. So this is m1 v1 cos theta 1. Okay. At the same time, so the other component will be, nodri, m1 v1 sin theta 1. Okay. Now, this m2 v2 also can be resolved into two components. So that is what I am writing. m2 v2 cos theta 2. And at the same time, so the other side, m2 v2 sin theta 2. Okay. Clear? So now what I am doing here is, according to law of conservation of linear momentum, along x-axis conservation of linear momentum now apply madidre along x-axis. Before the collision, along x-axis linear momentum of the system is equal to, after the collision, along x-axis linear momentum of the system. Right? I hope you understand. X-axis ali before the collision, so linear momentum andre just m1 u1, which is equal to, after the collision, linear momentum of the system along x-axis andre nodri idu plus idu agutte. So m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. So this is equation number 1. And at the same time, along y-axis also, you get how the linear momentum can be equated. So before the collision, along y-axis, there is no linear momentum of the system. Will you agree with this? Tell me, my dear students, before the collision, along y-axis, there is no linear momentum of the system. But there is a linear momentum of the system after the collision along y-axis. Nodri. Along y-axis, it is positive y-axis. Yenadu m1 v1 sin theta 1, and this is negative. So m2 v2 sin theta 2, my dear students. This is equation number 2. Right? As we have we are talking about the elastic collision, my dear students. When elastic collision, if I say a law of conservation of kinetic energy is conserved, alva. In elastic collision, kinetic energy is conserved. And when kinetic energy is conserved, what can I write? Before the collision, kinetic energy of the system, half m1 u1 square is equal to, after the collision, kinetic energy of the system, half m1 v1 square. This is not a vector. It is a scalar. Whatever may be the direction of the second body, and whatever may be the direction of first body, we'll just write the energies as half m1 u1 square, which is equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So this is equation number 3. Equation number 3. All right. So by using these three equations, and you can get the required answer according to the given question. 99% ಈ ತರ questions ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ for the NEET exam, for JEE exam ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. So that is the reason we are discussing this. So depends on these three equations. ಕೆಲವು equations ಬರ್ತವೆ, ಆ equations ಗೆ solve ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you can easily find out the unknown present in the given question. The required answer for the given question you find out ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಒಂದು question ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ so then it will be so easy for us ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ನೀವು. That is why let's solve a question, and before solving the question I'm telling you one more a very important 5 stars ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ most important concept we are going to discuss. ಏನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so there is a body of mass m which is moving with a velocity u. And on the same line, so there is another identical mass is there, the same mass, so but it is restum. So when there is an elastic collision between these two bodies, note here everybody, after the collision, iga first body is moving with a velocity v, ikade 1, first body moving with a velocity v1. And a second body moving with the velocity v2, right? At what angles? At an angle theta 1 and at an angle theta 2. So ee tara case kottidre directly you can write theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to 90 degrees. So there is a solution for that, there is a derivation for that, but namgu beda anta, right? So if you have any kind of material, so it will be there, the derivation. So this derivation also will be doing by using this only, by using this resolution of vectors as step. Alright? So this is same identical masses irbeku, and the second body must be at rest, and final condition is elastic collision aglebeku. Ee tara agidre elastic collisions astu easy alla nododu. I have told you already. Kinetic energy conserve ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that's a majorly we see that kind of collisions rarely, but loss of kinetic energy ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ in one collision ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so we can generally see those kind of collisions, right? All right. So ಈ ಕೇಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಮ್ಮ, the theta 1 plus theta 2 in some of the JEE exam direct question was also asked. Theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to 90 degrees. The condition is elastic and these two are identical masses, and second mass must be at rest. Okay, and let's see an example question, my dear students. Example question, right? Example question. The example question enandre there is a mass m here, right? So this is the mass m which is at rest and it is moving with a 5 meter per second, my dear students. Observe ಮಾಡಬೇಕಮ್ಮ, ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 5 meter per second. After the collision ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, after the collision, this is the line of motion actually. So one mass ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು mass ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, and ಈ mass is moving with a velocity v1 at an angle 60 degrees anta kottidare. So this is the mass moving with a velocity v2 at what angle anta kodlilla. What angle agbodu illi? Because ee case tane adu same or identical masses and second mass is at rest, and this is what the elastic collision anta kottidru. Andre illi definitely 30 degrees agbeku, right? So the question is find v1 and v2 anta. That's the question. Similar to this, ಈಗ ನೀವು law of conservation of linear momentum ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ law of conservation of linear momentum ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. So law of conservation of linear momentum ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು equations ಇರ್ತವೆ. One is along x axis, another one is along y axis. Along x axis ನೋಡೋಣ. Along x axis ಏನಮ್ಮ? m is moving with 5 meter per second ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5m which is equal to ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು mv1 cos 60 ತಾನೆ, mv1 cos 60, right? And at the same time ಈ mv2 cos 30 ನೋಡ್ರಿ, mv2 cos 30. So that's what I'm writing here. mv1 cos 60 andre 1/2 plus mv2 cos 30 andre √3/2. Right? Don't cancel this 2 and this 2. Okay, the v2, v suffix 2. Alright? So, illi about x-axis we are discussing. Mass cancel ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, right? What is left here? ಈ 2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ it's 10. 10 is equal to v1 plus v2 √3 ಅಂತ equation 1 ಬಂತು ನಮಗೆ, right? So let's discuss about the y-axis also, my dear students. About y-axis ನೋಡೋಣ. About y-axis ತುಂಬಾ easy ತಾನೆ, because before the collision y-axis linear momentum before the collision of the system is 0. After the collision, just now we had our discussion, idu m1 v1 sin 60 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, right? m1 v1 sin 60 ಅಂದ್ರೆ √3/2 plus ಅಲ್ಲ ಮೈನಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಮೈನಸ್, ಇದು m2 v2 ಗೆ about 30 degrees one component ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So that is m2 v2 sin 30 ಅಂತಾನೆ, right? Minus m2 v2 sin 30 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1/2, right? So here 0 is equal to m2 m1. So whatever it may be, it is m only. So m if you take common, so that is v1 √3/2 minus v2/2. So illi v1 √3 is equal to v2 anta barutte. So this is equation number 2. ಈ equation number 2 ಗೆ we can substitute in equation number 1. So 10 is equal to v1 plus v2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಮ್ಮ, v1 √3 into √3 ಏನು, 10 is equal to v1 plus 3v1. So ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, so v1 is equal to 10/4 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2.5 meter per second. ಇದು v1. v2 ಏನು, ಈ v1 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. So v2 is equal to v1 is to 2.5 √3. So 2.5 √3 ಅಂದ್ರೆ it's approximately 4.3 meter per second ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so this is how ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ, either in the NEET or in the JEE exams, right? So this is about the collision, my dear students, according to the required topics for all kind of entrance exams, and not more than this. All the models are covered from the starting of the chapters. All the models are covered. right? Now what we have discussed today is we have started with coefficient of restitution in several formulas and several cases in there, right? And especially rebouncing height ಮತ್ತೆ rebouncing velocity concepts are important. ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ elastic collision in 2 dimension ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ just by using the law of conservation of linear momentum and kinetic energy conservation. ಈ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ we have solved in numericals also ನೋಡ್ರಿ here, right? So that's it. Now don't think today's questions and today's assignment is based on only this part. ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ, today's discussion will be based and today's questions will be based on that, maybe the assignment or the evening exam, whatever it may be. Today's questions you will get from complete collisions, right? Perfectly elastic, semi-inelastic, perfectly inelastic, and coefficient of restitution, including the elastic collisions in 2 dimension, my dear students, right? And we will discuss the chapter called gravitation, because the next chapter is the system of particles and rotatory motion, right? System of particles and rotatory motion. So comparatively the gravitation chapter takes less time. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೊಟೇಟರಿ ಮೋಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೋ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ 9th and 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಕಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೊಟೇಟರಿ ಮೋಷನ್ ಅಂತ, ರೈಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ಬೈ ಬೈ, ಶೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್. ಸಿ ಯು ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್.